Welcome back. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and on YouTube.com/channelsweb you can watch our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows devices from their respective stores. That's not all. Besides giving you access to news updates, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app have an eyewitness feature you can use to share pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. Reactions have continued to trail the president's declaration to seek re-election in 2019. Ekiti State Governor Fayose describes the president's declaration of his re-election bid as an ambition that is dead on arrival. Governor Fayose believes Nigeria does not need President Muhammadu Buhari as her leader in 2019. In a statement, the governor says if President Buhari is unable to read the writing on the wall and know when to call it quits, Nigerians will vote him out of office. He adds, quote, "That ambition is dead on arrival. We don't want Grandpa as president anymore. Nigeria does not deserve a Buhari as president in 2019. When people don't know when to take their leave and say bye, Nigerians will show them the exit door." End of quote. Apart from being a governor from the opposition party, Governor Fayose is one of the president's major critics. Now, the Osun State Commissioner of Police has confirmed that the cause of the explosion which brought down a story building in Ile-Ife can be blamed on suspected improvised explosives devices. He visited the scene of the explosion in Ife and confirmed that one life was lost, just as he assured that the police will do all it can to ascertain the motive behind the attack.
48 hours after a suspected explosion brought down the story building, which used to be a Benko pharmacy in Moore area of Ile-Ife. Smoke is still visibly oozing out of the debris, and the building appears to have caved in more. The Osun State Commissioner of Police, Olafemi Adeoye, is here with a team from the Police Explosive Ordnance Department to ascertain the cause of the explosion. The police chief is suspecting that an improvised explosive device may have been used.
The essence of our investigation is, one, to establish the author, two, to establish the motive, and three, to determine if actually it was an IED that was deployed, and if it was an IED, we want to know the source of the IED.
As it is, we suspect that the seat of the explosion is right under the rubble, and that is exactly a spot that we can find out and see if there are some materials or evidential materials that may help us in the course of investigation.
I'm not feeling happy. I'm feeling so hungry.
One of the sons of the late owner of the building estimates the cost of the loss to over 350 million naira, and he wants the police to help unravel the root cause of the explosion.
I want police to take their capacity to arrest all these people are mentioned. I want government to assist, because all the property, all the monies were kept inside this shop. Everything has burnt.
But the traditional ruler of Ife, Oni Adeyeye Ogunwusi, has a different view. He says the destruction of the pharmacy can be traced to a long family feud, which he says will be settled at the community level.
Trying to get to the bottom of it. It's within the family, because they are after the things of this world, vanity upon vanity. All is vanity. The person that worked for it has even left this world. So the family that are left over behind are fighting for nothing. So we don't pray for such again.
Even at that, investigations are still ongoing to determine the cause of the explosion, and occupants of other buildings close to the scene have been told to vacate their homes for safety reasons.
The Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, has reiterated his commitment to tackle all security challenges in Taraba State. He made the commitment when he paid a courtesy call on the Taraba State Governor, Darius Ishaku, at the Government House. According to him, part of the measures already taken are the deployment of additional units of the mobile police and a donation of a helicopter to the state for aerial surveillance.
We have deployed additional 3 mobile police units to assist in ensuring peace and harmony in various parts of the platform of the state. In addition, Your Excellency, I promise that I'm going to give you 1 helicopter. And that helicopter is presently on ground. In addition, Your Excellency, by tomorrow I'm going to commission a mobile police force squadron to add to some of the units you have on the ground to assist us in maintaining law and order all over the state.
And for me, in Taraba State, I will say we are indeed very happy with the police. As I've mentioned to you last week, the police are doing their best in Taraba State. That I can say anything. The problem with the police is equipment and logistics. We are doing our best for them, and thank God you have added men, which will give them the more needed manpower to be able to attend to urgent calls.
Meanwhile, police authorities have extended the deadline for the disarmament and recovery of prohibited firearms, ammunition and weapons in the hands of suspected militia, bandits and other individuals. The Force Public Relations Officer, Jimoh Moshood, explains that the extension is as a result of the impressive compliance by Nigerians throughout the country and the successes recorded in some states of the Federation. Mr. Jimoh also reaffirms the commitment of the Nigeria Police to ensure the protection of lives and property across the country.
It is equally important for members of the public to know that we are doing this to ensure public safety and security of all Nigerians across the Federation, to be able to stem and reduce crimes to the BRS in the country, more especially as it has to do with violent crime such as kidnapping, armed robbery, farmer and other classes, and cattle rustling and the like. This mopping up in the recent time have reduced this rate of criminality in most parts of the country, more especially in those areas and regions where we have been recording such crimes and criminal activity in the recent past.
Elsewhere, the federal government says it's taken steps to improve power generation across the country by expansion and rehabilitation of allied work projects at varying stages of completion. The Umahia substation in Abia State now has an expanded transformer capacity, while the Aba substation will also grow in transformer capacity. The Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, in a working visit to Abia State, stressed that the intention is to keep tabs on projects and issues concerning power generation.
We must continue to draw our inspiration from the well-meaning and right-thinking Nigerians who graciously acknowledge that it is getting better. They acknowledge that they are saving money from diesel because they now buy less diesel for their generators. They acknowledge that they are running their generators for comparatively shorter hours than they used to in the past. They acknowledge that this is so because they are getting, again, comparatively more power than they used to get. We acknowledge also that the work is not finished. We must work harder and we must be more determined to improve service delivery.
Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola. You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, aviation in Delta State as the state government shuts down temporarily the airport for resurfacing of its runway. Stay with us.